Alan and I met in 2009, and 2 years later we proposed, and then we start preparing for the wedding all the time. Actually, I was dedicated most of my time on my weekends during the weddings. But a lot of people keep telling us, oh, not just preparing the wedding, but prepare the marriage, because that's more important. But it's easier said than done, and we didn't really know how. We try to read a lot of books, but still, we want some more practical examples to help us.
We were actually very blessed. Not long after we come back from our wedding, the church was beginning to advertise. They were going to host this Alpha Marriage course. My wife actually signed me up for the course. I've got to admit, I was a little bit apprehensive in going to the course because I thought there was no problem with us. Why do we need to go on a course? But I think the whole environment, the whole date night, deeper conversation in a dark room environment with dinner kind of really helped us to open up. I think the fact that we prayed before each dinner kind of allowed us to open ourselves up, and that really facilitated a night where we can honestly share our weakness, our strength. So I get not only understand her better, but also understand my own heart better, which would have been impossible if we were just relying on living life how we normally does.
For me, I think the course really helped me to learn more about myself as well as each other on the communication side.
During and maybe even more so after the course, I get to appreciate how God has placed a wonderful wife in my life.
And especially, I think the most important thing is bring God into the picture and pray together at the end, and that's really helpful.
I think for marriage, it is easy just for two people to just be physically living each other and not talk, but to be able to enjoy the way that God has prepared marriage for the communication, which is one of the crucial parts. After a year of our marriage, we began to want to try for kids.
We had been trying for more than a year-ish. We still not be able to have a first child.
Chrisie, at the time, would be blaming herself at times. Every month we would be disappointed, and as a husband, you don't know what that you could do.
But I was very surprised that Alan actually came up to me, and we sort of talked through our feelings, what we learned in the marriage course, and it actually gave me a lot of courage and faith throughout that prayer process. After a few months, we went on a holiday, and I think God, that was the time that He showed us a sign and gave us a covenant rainbow, and that was a moment where I felt that I need to stop doing all the human way of trying to get a baby, like measuring temperature and going through the Chinese doctor and everything, and I just stopped worrying, but just leave everything to God.
Yeah, we found out the pregnancy in a very miraculous way as well. We thought prayers was answered. In that it was the December, early in the month, doctor checked Chrisie, her physique, and
the doctor told me that, oh, you missed the window of conception, so you just gotta take some rest and do it next month. And then, very strange that after a few weeks later, I find out that I was pregnant. And I felt that that was really key lessons to me, that when the world tells you that it's impossible, that's the time that God will work in our lives.
Marriage and parenthood has opened me up in terms of allowing me to learn what Christ's love for us are, which is both sacrificial and selflessness. So no matter what I've done wrong, or no matter how crazy we will become each other, with Christ in the middle, we know that we will love each other just the same. And this is totally opposite of what the world would teach us.